Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Tosin Oduwole, and you are on the Daily Hustle Entrepreneur segment, where we have tons of entrepreneurs, business owners, what's the word? Aspiring entrepreneurs from around the country, around the world, actually. And we're going to get into what their specialties are, what got them into entrepreneurship, what their passions are, and a lot of that good stuff. So I want to introduce to you a very, very, very dear friend of mine, Safiyah Nurse. Also my stylist, even though she hasn't styled me yet. But in my mind, I'm manifesting it because she's always so fly. She's got that classic look or whatever. So this is my stylist right here. What's going on, Safiyah? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I want to say thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to talk to you and the people.
Dope. So yeah, we just gonna get into it, man. There's like so much that I think people need to know about you, a lot that people can learn from you. And so we just want to get into it. So first of all, just tell us a little bit about like your background, your upbringing, where you come from, and we can kind of take it from there.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I was born in Brooklyn, New York,
Hey,
to a mother who was from South America.
okay.
Her father, they came as immigrants to the United States. And I guess really we really took it from there. From New York, we moved to Baltimore, Maryland. So I grew up in Baltimore, did like middle school, high school in Baltimore, and then I moved back to New York
Okay.
for college. I come from a family of, really a lot of intellectuals. So my mother was a senior scientist. My grandfather, he was a police officer in his hometown in Georgetown, Guyana. And when he came to the States, he worked for security for a bank. And I really just was intrigued. I was intrigued at first by science, and I always thought like I want to be a scientist when I grow up. And I thought that was going to be my path, but it kind of changed a little bit for me. When I got into college, I decided I wanted to do mass communication. So I did mass communication for a while. I knew that I was a people person, but I decided to change it up a little bit, and I got into fashion. I realized I had a passion for fashion, for people being able to express themselves through their clothing. And I wanted to see women in certain outfits that I wasn't seeing. So I decided to study it. What better way to learn something than to study it? So that's what I did. I got my degree in fashion design and merchandising. I went back and got another degree in fashion retail and management, because I not only did I want to know how to put together a look and assemble a garment and really look fly from head to toe, but I wanted to know how to shop it, how to market it, how to present it, how to, really make money with it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, because we all got to live, right? And after that, I decided I wanted to do a clothing line out of college. I learned a lot from that business venture, the do's and the don'ts.
Yeah.
From production to picking the right sample maker, venue, sponsorship, everything you could think of to put a full-on fashion show together. I learned a lot about that. From there, let's see, it's so much in between, but let's see. From there, I had a couple of odds and end jobs. I got into giving individuals guidance when it came to real estate and real estate investing. And then from that point, I became a real estate agent.
Yes.
So as you can see, it's like from one side to the other. But a real estate agent, I'm currently a realtor. I work with an amazing team at the GNN Group that's powered by Village Realty. And I also have a web design company. So I do web design, I host, I have, email domains, everything you could think of under one umbrella with my company, Easy Design Pro. So
when you decided you were going to go the fashion route, what was the tipping point that made you say, you know what, I want to actually study this and like do it? Because I know you were doing other things, but what made you say, yo, like I want to really, really like become an expert or knowledgeable or actually pursue this? Like, well, what was that?
So like I said, I'm from South America, so I have like a Caribbean kind of background, and what I used to always go to a lot of dance hall parties, right? So when I used to go to these parties, I didn't want to just wear what was in the store. I wanted to design my outfit. So I had to, you know what I'm saying, had to be unique. So I would go to West 4th, and I had this one place in particular that I used to go to all the time. I used to take my sketches and I say, can you guys do this for me? And they would say, we could do it. And I go back, get fitted, all of that. And from that point, I'm like, if I don't see it and I want it, I'm quite sure there's other people that want something similar. So I'm going to learn about it. I'm going to learn how to construct it. I'm going to learn what fabrics will give me a certain look. And that's what really made me, that defining moment was really what really made me want to like take the step forward to say, I'm going to actually study this.
Okay. So when you are coming up with designs, like, are you drawing it like with your hand, or are you using like a computer pro software, or like, how are you actually putting like the looks together?
So first it will start off with a sketch. I mean, some people just start off with maybe thumbnail sketches. But then you'll take it from there. You may use a croquis, and then you'll take your garment scan it into the computer. At some point, you will have to take that sketch and you have to create a technical drawing of your garment, because with the technical drawing, that's what they're going to need to manufacture your garment. So you have to do specs, specifications of how each piece is supposed to be, the measurements and so on. So then it could go to mass production. But at first, it does start off with a sketch.
So you had mentioned something. What's a croquis?
A croquis is a figure. A croquis is a figure that you can use, and it has like a leveling of like the shoulders, where the hips are supposed to go. So you put the croquis under a transparent paper, and then you could draw over the croquis so that your sketches kind of come out the same every time.
Yeah, because I always wonder, like, how do you? Because I mean, I can't draw, so maybe it's more difficult for me. But I was always wondering, like, how do you like design clothing on like a person on paper, and then like make it into like a real garment? Like, I was like, what the? How does that even work?
Well, it all comes from conceptualization. You have to be able to see it first, like you have to be able to conceptualize your idea before really bringing it to life. So you have to really believe in it.
Gotcha.
So once you believe in it, and then you start putting together the elements, like, okay, I know that I want it to fall this way. So I know this fabric will give me that kind of look, taffeta may not be able to fall like satin. So you kind of just learn the fabrics, and you learn what's going to give you specific details, or if you need a blend, you need it to stretch a little bit, you need it to stand up. Do you need lining? Is there interface? It's a lot of elements.
Yeah.
But once you understand what it is you're doing, it's fun.
Oh, so like, do you get, when you're like looking for materials, do you go to like I guess like stores to sell fabric and just like spend hours just like touching stuff and seeing what feels right? Or like, what's that like when you have your drawing on your croquis, right? How do you go get the materials and say, okay, I want to use this particular type of whatever?
Well, I mean, when you have your drawing, you're probably going to have some kind of swatch as well. So you're going to have your swatches, which is a small piece of the fabric. So like, okay, this is my swatch. You feel it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, if you don't have a swatch and you just came up with the idea with the sketch, you could go into the store and they have sections. Like they have a section for taffeta, they have a section for silk, they have a section for cotton blends. Whatever you're looking for, there's sections. So you won't be all day, but if you really love it like that, you might be thinking of different things to make while you're in there. Yeah. And then you'll stay all day.
Okay. All right. So like when you turned it into like a business, how were you kind of like, I don't know, getting people to say, hey, I want you to style me, or I want you to design something for me? How was that working out?
For me, it really started with my family. Like I had aunts that would say, oh, design me a dress. And they had seamstresses that they like, that they would go to, and I would come and I would explain the design to the seamstress. And because I understood sewing, I could really relay the message to them exactly how I wanted it to be, and they would understand. Gotcha. Now, this is not a seamstress like a big factory. This is like, a Caribbean seamstress that learned, self-taught. They taught themselves, and they just really good at it. You show them a picture and they're like,
she'll make it happen.
Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah.
So I would do that for them. They would pay me for it. And then, I would reach out to other people, and they would just see me. They would just see my style, and people would approach me anyhow. And then that would give me an opening to talk about other things that I do.
That was really what made me kind of really start paying attention to you, because, we used to work together and we'd be around each other every day. And I used to see the way you were dressing. And I was like, I want the men's version of what she has on.
Right.
Like, it's like classy, but it's not like old. It's like new.
Yeah.
You would think that this is something that like Elizabeth Taylor or Jackie Onassis would have been wearing in like the 60s. And it's like the men's version of that. Like, I've hit you up several times. I'll send you pictures and say, I want a blazer that looks like this, or like a turtleneck that's got this type of feel or cut.
And I find it for you too, right?
Yeah, and you do. You do quickly.
You said, where can I get this whole look? And I say, 1 second.
Yeah. So like moving from Baltimore to New York and then to Atlanta, you had to start over, right? So like, how was that like, having to like reintroduce yourself or get new clients, and then of course making the transition to including real estate in there as well? How is it juggling your passion, which is fashion, and merging it with what may be a passion, but maybe not as big as a passion, but is like something that is more building assets and things of that nature? How is it juggling the two of those?
Well, it's not easy. That's a fact. That's for sure. Yeah. It's not easy, but I think it really takes like dedication, and it really takes like focus. Yeah. You have to really focus and know what it is you want out of this. It was a transition, yes, to go from fashion to real estate, but at the same time, I think the common denominator for me is the fact that I get to help people. Okay. When people come into me for fashion, they need like help or guidance with something. They're asking me my opinion about something. Yeah. And I think it's the same when it comes to real estate, because the individuals I meet, need guidance when it comes to real estate. Mm-hmm. They need help when it comes to finding a home. They need help when it comes to their credit overall, where they stand. They want me to direct them to someone that can help them possibly with that. So I'm still dealing with people and helping them in some way, shape, or form. So I think that's the common denominator for me. And because of who I am, I enjoy doing that. Yeah. So I think that's what makes me like push forward and really want to master it, because when I get into something or start doing something new, I really want to master it. Like, I don't want to just be mediocre, because then what's the point?
Exactly.
Some people like that. They like to just skirt on by and go with the flow, but that's not really me. Yeah. Like, I'm the type that I want to learn more. I know I don't know everything. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. And I know that I could learn from other individuals. So not only do I want to help people, but I also want to help myself and surround myself with people that could help me to get where I'm going. You understand? So the transition, it took some getting used to. Like, you have to get out your comfort zone and really put yourself out there. And that's what I do. From going to networking events, maybe by myself. Yeah. and just, having to go and talk to people that you don't necessarily know, but that's coming out of your comfort zone, meeting people to get where you need to go. And that's really what I did.
That's wild. So I know at some point in time you got into like Airbnbs, as far as like, renting out private Airbnbs. I know Airbnb is very profitable. I've also heard a lot of stories to where it can be somewhat stressful and tiring, because this is short-term rentals. So tell me a story as far as like your best experience with Airbnb and your worst experience Airbnb, your property.
My best experience. I had this family come. I think she was a working woman. So she came, she brought her children, and there's cameras on all the entrances on the property, so I could see when people go in, when people go out. And they were just so nice. They were nice. If anything that they needed, they would call. They were just so nice. They left great comments. it was like no one was even there. That it was that's how that particular Airbnb experience went. Like it was just smooth sailing. They came and they went.
They went.
And that was it. It's not much to that story, but that's a good Airbnb experience. They came and they went. That's that. Thumbs up. Two thumbs up. The worst was so in this particular property, there wasn't supposed to be any parties.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
There was a party.
Okay.
There was a party and it was bad. It was bad. Like the cops had to be called, you know, the reservation had to be canceled. The people thought they were being slick, like, okay, we'll have one person just sleep there for one night. And then late at night, I mean, I do have cameras. Exactly. Late at night, we'll bring in all the grocery bags for the party. Then the next day, it's like a ton of people that keep ringing the front doorbell to the property, ringing the doorbell. And then I'm getting calls from tenants and I'm like, this is not going to turn out good at all. This is not going to turn out good at all. So in that particular instance, I actually called Airbnb. I spoke to a representative. The representative tried to reach out to the individual so that we could try to just, you know, keep the reservation, you know, you end your party and let's just move on.
No harm, no
but I could see in my camera, the gentleman did not want to respond to his phone because the rep was calling the person while I was watching my camera.
So you're seeing him like
them not answer the phone, pretty much.
Okay.
Crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. So at that point, the representative was like, you know what, ma'am, I've already canceled the reservation on my end. So at this point, the person is there kind of illegally because they no longer have a reservation. So do what you feel is necessary to secure that property.
Wow, that's crazy. I had a similar situation in Atlanta. I was told they were renting the property for a Pamper Party. So I'm like, okay, it's going to be, 10 or 15 middleaged women, trading candles and sex toys or whatever. Okay, fine, whatever.
Not the sex toys.
I mean, I heard Pamper Party. I think it's like middle-aged women, like, selling each other vibrators and shit. I don't know. So and like massage oils and stuff. So I'm like, cool. The amount of money that I had set the rental for was a decent amount of money. It was a lot. It was thousands per day. And they paid for 2 days. So I'm like, yo, bet, let's roll with it. I made the mistake that day. I hopped on a plane and went back to New Jersey. So the first day I was looking on the cameras because I had a ton of cameras around the house. And, it wasn't a Pamper Party. There was a couple guys there. I was thinking, maybe that's like one of their boyfriends or whatever. That's fine. No problem.
Yeah, didn't want to prejudge the situation.
Exactly. I was like, that's fine. It was like maybe 15, 16 people there. I'm like, that's fine. The next day, the alert on the security cameras is going off like crazy at like 1 a.m. And I'm dead asleep. But I just hear my phone just ding, 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 ding. So I look at it, and when I look at it, there's like 200 people in the kitchen. There's like 100 people in the living room. There was another 200 people in the backyard. You've been to that house before. So it was a rapper, a very famous rapper. I'm not going to say his name. He didn't book the house through me. He sent a girl to book it through me and tell me it was a party. And every year he has like an annual freak fest.
Oh, wow.
They just come in there and they got strippers and prostitutes and drugs and they just whatever. And I'm looking at like 600 people all over the house and I'm 1,000 miles away.
Wow.
So I didn't know, and I should have did this. I didn't know I could have called Airbnb and told them to cancel the reservation. So I called the person and I told her, I said, I can see everything that's happening. You need to shut that down right now, or I'm going to have to call the police to end the party and exit everything out. I really didn't want to call the police. I was like, I don't want to take it there. But it's like,
Right.
oh, you don't got 40 people in the house. You don't even got 100 people in the house. There's almost 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Inside my mansion.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It wasn't gonna end good. It just wasn't gonna end good.
I'm like, yo, you gotta end this now, or. And she was like, yeah, okay, don't call the police. I'm like, cool. I'm looking. Now I'm up. Now I'm awake. I'm
wide awake.
Wide awake.
After that,
I'm watching the footage. I'm watching it. They not ending the party. So I called the cops and told them, hey, can you guys go and shut this down? It's past 1 a.m. The noise is loud. The neighbors can hear it. It's violating the noise ordinance or whatever. And the cops tell me, we're not your eviction service. I said, oh, God damn. I said,
wow. Your story, your Airbnb horror story definitely tops mine.
Yo.
It tops mine.
So I go on Priceline and buy a one-way flight back to Atlanta that was leaving at 7 a.m. that morning. I get back to Atlanta at like 9 a.m. I get to the house, everybody's gone.
How's the house is the question.
It was in shambles. Statues were broken, trash and garbage everywhere. There was like blunts and cigarettes all over the floor. I went upstairs into the master bedroom, master closet. There was used condoms in the closet.
Oh no!
I don't know what the hell they was doing in there. I didn't have any cameras upstairs on the second floor.
Right.
I don't know how many people were upstairs. For all I know, it could have been another 200, 300 people upstairs. I don't know. And this rapper, he commands a nice crowd of people. So I know when they put that address out to their people swarmed it. Somebody's car got broken into and they got a gun stolen. Then somebody else was in the backyard and started shooting in the air.
No.
It was just like the worst thing ever. And that kind of turned me off to Airbnb. And I said, you know what, the next time I rent this out, it's going to be off Airbnb. It's going to be person to person. And I'm not doing any like overnight stays. It's only going to be like pool parties, music videos, stuff to where I'm there.
More control.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, more control.
People don't get over. You told me one time that you had an Airbnb tenant that like was trying to fry like a turkey or fish in the house in like a deep fryer or something, and they didn't want to take it outside. They had the whole house smelling like fish or something like that.
Oh yeah. I actually offered them a fryer. Oh, okay. I offered them a fryer and it was put outside because they were frying fish inside. Like, no, you cannot do that.
That's crazy.
You can't.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, the Airbnb game, you can definitely have some wins in it. I just think it just wasn't my lane. But I know a lot of people that are doing very well with it. But kind of crossing over to the real estate side. So being a realtor in Atlanta, Georgia, and then after this, I want to get your like your brokerage name and the contact information. So if anybody wants to buy or sell a home in the Atlanta area, they can reach out to you and contact you. How do you go about, I guess, like sourcing your leads or like finding your leads or like, finding people then to give them the pitch of, hey, let me sell your house or let me help you find a house to buy?
Okay, so a lot of my leads came from my inner circle. So the first person that really ever reached out to me was a friend. Okay. They were like, I heard the market is the interest rates are really great and I think I'm ready. Yeah. And she was really ready. I had her like under contract within 6 days, about 6 days of her telling me that.
That's dope.
So that was my very first, and I got a lot of referrals from friends and family. And then outside of that, I use a web program that I actually pay for a service, and they bring in leads from Google, Facebook, Listcast is a service. They have a service also called Listcast where it kind of follows you around online with the logo and stuff like that. So I get leads that come in from that as well. So it's all on me to actually filter them out, to qualify them, to reach out to them. My website, continually talks to them. I have artificial intelligence that steps in for me sometimes because, I'm busy. I may be dealing with other clients out on a list, a showing or whatever it is. So I incorporate that as well. And that helps me to stay engaged with my database.
Dope.
Outside of that, I do little special things for clients that I've worked with in the past. For Christmas, I sent something to their home, a nice little present. I just stay engaged with them because I really, really, really appreciate my clients.
Yeah.
So I want to let them know that they're appreciated. So I go the extra mile for them, even when, we're not necessarily doing business, but I want them to know that I care.
Oh, that's dope.
Because I really do.
That's dope. So of course, with COVID, the whole world's been impacted. A lot of industries and jobs have been impacted. I've seen that real estate has not been hurt as much. And in some cases, it's actually soared.
Yeah.
Have you felt that? Has that been your experience as well? Or
yeah, so it is the interest rates are really great, right? So it's good for buyers, but when it comes to our inventory for the buyers to purchase, that is a little low. Wow. So you have a lot of people putting in offers on the same property, then it sends the price up because everybody's bidding and they want their offer to be accepted. They're going to go the extra mile, even when they know it possibly won't appraise for that, and then comes the question of whether or not the seller will lower the sales price. If they're doing FHA or something like that, they really have no choice. Do they want to start all over or do they want to adjust the sales price? That's the question. So I think that is, the little issue that we see. Have a lot of buyers that are pre-approved, ready to go, but
nothing ready to buy. Really, it's like
exactly. That's our dilemma.
Wow.
That's our dilemma. Inventory is a little low.
So that kind of works out for sellers,
Yeah. Oh yeah. The sellers are making out like fat rats because they have a lot of options, right? So, normally when someone's asking a seller to put in a percentage, 3% or whatever it is for their closing costs, and now there's someone that says, hey, I don't want any closing costs. I don't want anything. I want the property.
Okay.
So
my last question is what do you see your future being as far as like the horizon is like, the next 5 years? What do you want to where do you see the next chapter of your business and your personal life going
to? Well, my personal life, 5 years. My daughter will be 15, like 14 and 15 years old. So
it's a grown
woman. In 5 years. Can you believe it? I can't.
So is she freshman in high school? Freshman?
No, she'll probably at that point she'll be in 11th grade.
Oh, really?
She got skipped. They started a little early, so
they started early. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's
so yeah, it's right around the corner. But I see myself really just taking my businesses to another level, having it really automated so that I don't necessarily have to be always 10 toes down, and I can step away and really enjoy time with my daughters and really enjoy life. But I want to build something that is sustainable. So I see my businesses taking them to another level. My real estate business, my fashion business. I will have a suit line coming soon.
Can I be your first customer?
Oh yes.
Great. Wonderful.
Oh yes. It was really going to be tailored to women, but especially for you.
You said suits. You got to make me a suit, man.
Yeah, so I definitely see my suit line. I'm in talks right now with a lady and a company to design a collection for her as well. Okay. I'm really excited about that. And for my web design company, I just see more business coming in and really automating that. And when my site is fully ready to go, I'll share it with you so you can share it with the audience as well. So
most definitely. Well, hey, thank you so much for making this short notice. And how can we find you? What are your socials and your websites and all that stuff?
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Mogul Safiyah J. Okay. That's Mogul Safiyah Jai. And my real estate page is GNN Group ATL.
Dope.
And then my web design is EZ Design Pro.
Wonderful. So guys, hey, if you guys need fashion tips, you need a stylist, or you need to find property, this is exactly the person you need to speak with. I'm definitely going to put all her contact information and socials in the description of this video. Thank you guys for joining and watching this. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Safiyah, thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.